So this is just going through, no script here, my sort of archives, notes, what have you. And so this one is about Adriano Lemmi, who is a secretary to Garibaldi, who brought the Italian nation together. And this is the Morning Chronicle, London, October 15th, 1852, Friday, page 6. And so here they want to, some official here, I do by require and enjoin you to intimate to Adriano Lemmi that he must, within 15 days from his being served a copy of this order, depart from the precincts of this island of Malta and its dependencies. And the next part of the article, okay, so that was the acting chief secretary of government. The Adriano Lemmi mentioned in this order is an Italian by birth. He is a friend of Signor Mazzini and has been secretary to Kossuth, which is the Hungarian revolutionary, I believe. He has been residing for a few months at Malta with his wife and two very young children. Signor Lemmi has undertaken some commercial affairs, and his personal interests will be very much damaged. No, I can't get that. Very much damaged by this violent, abrupt removal. His offense, of course, was the fact that he was in correspondence with his political friends in this country, an offense perhaps in the eyes of Austria or of Naples, but hardly one to be recognized by the public servants of the English nation. There's indeed another point connected with this dismissal. Signor Lemmi was the bearer of an American passport, which is interesting, in which he was described as an American subject. On the date of the notice quoted above, Lemmi sent the order which he had received to the consul for the United States, protesting that he had not in any way violated the laws of the island. For the reasoning, and it's this mentioned synagogues. Lemmi's Jewish, so just start with that. Kind of take note of that. I don't know exactly where the context of this is. This is 1851. The British Society. So here he's still secretary to Kossuth. I don't know how you say that name. Kossuth. The British Society of the Friends of Italy. All right, let's keep moving. So some of these may be out of order. We place this address in the hands of an Italian patriot, Adriano Lemmi, private secretary. Mr. Kossuth comes to you from the service as well of Hungary as of Italy. We can rely on his efforts to forward the country's cause, and we do not doubt that they will meet with a hearty and vigorous response from the great people, blah, blah, blah. Garibaldi and the Italian government. Whilst England is preparing to give General Garibaldi the hearty welcome of a free nation to a great patriot, the government in Turin vent their spite against him by petty persecutions. The following is a letter addressed to the Turin paper Il Dorito? Dorito? I don't know. Hey, Italian's not my strong suit at all. It's not even a suit. Of the 27th instant by Signor Adriano Lemmi, the treasurer of the Garibaldi Committee for Unity of Italy. So Victor Hugo, always a player in these situations. So they have some stuff going on there. American Israelite. Signor Adriano Lemmi is a co-religionist, has been elected Grand Master of the Grand Orient d'Italia, which is the principal Masonic lodge in Italy. There are 7 other lodges in the country of which Jews are presidents. There are 7 other lodges in which the Jews are presidents. So, and let's move on. What do we got here? Was Pope Pius a Freemason? Several papers continue maintaining that Signor Adriano Lemmi, Grand Master of the Supreme Freemason Council of Rome, has in his possession documents establishing the fact that the predecessor of Leo the 13th had affiliated himself with the Freemasonry during the period of August 1839. A Masonic organ of Paris, even called the impudence so far as to reproduce a facsimile of the alleged Masonic diploma of Pius the Ninth. And that audacious falsehood was certified, so they're kind of getting into like stuff we can't even prove one way or the other here. A declaration of Signor Adriano Lemmi, the Grand Master of Italian Masonry, stating that there is always a rumor that Pope Pius IX belonged to Freemasonry or the Carbonari order, but we have never been able to secure. Yeah. He knows one way or the other. This is the 1893. The attack by the Vatican upon the Masonic order was sharply repelled by a prominent Sicilian, Adriano Lemmi, at a banquet in Palermo. He asserted that Freemasonry has done much to improve the moral, intellectual, material condition of the people of the lower classes especially, and closed with a fervent appeal. Fervent appeal of the 150,000 Freemasons of the world to enlist 15 million Freemasons of the world to enlist under the banner of civilization against the Vatican. Signor Adriano Lemmi, 33rd degree, having resigned his position as Grand Master of Masons in Italy, a Congress of the Bodies has been called to meet in Rome in the latter part of May to elect his successor. Signor Nathan, an ex-disciple of Mazzini, is suggested as a likely leader. Adriano Lemmi dead. This is 1906. Died in Florence after suffering cancer for 2 months. Signor Ferrari, well-known sculptor, will succeed him. So this is something earlier. Without taking the vows of this order, I am permitted for a while to remain here and seek the strength I so much need. And here I perform the first act of reparation by committing this confession to paper. I never heard again from my brother, but from his indomitable resolution, I know that despite all obstacles, he has not yet abandoned his ideas of world conquest. I have more than once followed with singular interest the career of the present leader of the Carbonari in Europe, and have noted many incidents of his career, and I'm convinced that my brother, whom this narrative calls Ro, still lives, and he passes now for an Italian and calls himself Joseph Mazzini. I allude to the dreaded Carbonari. Immediately after the French Revolution in 1830, there were a series of outbreaks of the Roman territory extending into the duchies of Parma and Modena. They were both the work of the Carbonari and were soon put down in the most sanguinary manner by the troops of the late Pope Gregory. In the Roman legations, the present emperor and his brother who died during the insurrection were actively engaged. They were both sworn members of the Carbonari. It is generally understood that it was Pietri, the present Corsican prefect of police, who initiated the present emperor into the Carbonari, of which Mazzini, the present Pope, and the late King Charles Albert were active members. This society never forgives a renegade member, and this fact is mentioned in the explanation of Mazzini's opposition to Pius IX and Charles Albert. And this is the real secret of the recent and other attempts by Italians upon the emperor's life. All right, so that's kind of like the end of those, like that little line of notes. I'm not even sure what I'm doing with this, but just, you have all these little snippets of information lying around. So I get them out there.